Hello everyone, it's Helena. This video is a time-lapse of my painting called The Lost Princess, accompanied by today's topic, which is about motivation, the motivation to create. Recently, I had a conversation with my friend who asked me how I motivate myself to make art daily. She said she admires my drive to do art. I thought about her question and wanted to give my friend some insight about motivation, but I had nothing. How do I motivate myself? Well, it simply is that I don't. I don't have to cross mountains to make art. It is already in my blood. I wake up every day with pure joy and excitement that I get to paint. I don't do very well when someone tells me what to paint or restricts my artistic freedom of expression. For example, when I receive a commission from a client, I have to think about whether I want to accept it. Usually, I take on only commissions I feel inspired about or those that don't restrict my freedom much. Otherwise, it is a dread and I'm having trouble completing it. Then, I have to cross Mount Everest to motivate myself to paint. And that is wrong. On the other hand, when I paint whatever I want or feel inspired to, it gets done quickly because it's exciting for me. Some people say that at first you have to do what other people tell you to before you start making real money from art. And I call bullshit. If you receive a commission that you hate or you do something that you don't like doing just because it would do well in the almighty and said godly algorithm, or you do it only because it has the potential to be more popular, this will only slow down your progress. Sure, it can teach you a lesson that next time you should choose with your heart and not your brain. I think that some humans have a natural path to them, the path of least resistance, what feels the easiest, most effortless, and what you are naturally good at. Think about the times you were a little kid. You woke up and ran almost automatically to do the things you wanted to do the most. You just had fun and didn't think about whether other people would like it, whether it would sell. You just did it with pure enjoyment and didn't have to motivate yourself. Then you went to school, then to work, and you learned that this world doesn't work that way. That on this planet, you have to push your instincts away, that you can't do things out of pure enjoyment and, unfortunately, have to work for money. Well, what is work for money? It's usually some sort of not-so-fun 9-to-5 endeavor with a few exceptions. When I was little, my mom used to tell me that I should enjoy school because then I would have to go to work all my life. That it is some horrendous thing I need to do to earn money and survive, like, unfortunately, my parents had to do. I understand it was different for them back then, as they didn't have much space to do something they loved. They and their mindsets were restricted a lot as they came from a communist country, etc. So I thought, oh my god, is this it? Am I going to be working all my life? I now do art only part-time and I have other part-time job as a nanny at the same time, which gives me much more satisfaction than working in a regular job as I have fun with the children and learn a lot as I go. So I'm very fortunate. Sure, I have a dream to be a full-time artist, which I'm going to aim at, but for now, I feel very happy with what I have. So there comes the obsession with motivation. How do you motivate yourself to do the things you want? Well, if you can't motivate yourself, if you took 1,000 cold showers, wrote down hundreds of vision boards, tens of pros and cons, and still can't do it, maybe it's not what you actually want to do. If you have to put so much effort into motivating yourself to do something, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. I'm not talking about the bigger motivation, like you maybe want to start a business because you want to be your own boss, or you want to escape the 9-to-5 regime. However, before you achieve that, your daily motivation to do something should be that you simply enjoy it. Or maybe you want to get better at your craft and see where it takes you. Natural enjoyment should be your daily bread motivation. I understand that we all have to work to make ends meet and sometimes you will have to dread going to work. Unfortunately, this is how it works. But then, if you have a hobby, you shouldn't have to talk yourself into doing it. If we follow our childlike instincts that we have forgotten so long time ago, we never know where it brings us. I still have one quote on my board which says, "Pursue your passion in every moment and soon those moments will change your life." I've had this quote there for like 5 or 6 years now. I have pursued my art almost every day since then, and it indeed changed my life. Now I get to do art part-time, and all I did was paint and draw whatever the hell I wanted, and my curiosity about what I could achieve if I practiced my art daily was my main motivation. So, if you feel the least resistance to drawing goofy giraffes, please do it. We are conditioned not to do what we love, and it can even take decades to learn that we actually should do what we love. We do jobs that we barely enjoy and motivate ourselves so hard to do them. We have been made to believe that the fun things in life are hard to get, like becoming an artist for a living, and the not so fun things, like the jobs you might not enjoy so much, are easy to get. I don't even have to mention how many of us were discouraged that what we actually wanted to pursue is unrealistic. But it should be quite opposite. We should follow the things that we love, that feels natural to us and therefore are easy for us to perform. And please note, I'm not talking about that painting or any other craft or whatever you enjoy doing is easy. It's not. Perfecting those crafts is hard task at times. But I'm talking about the natural motivation to perform painting, for example. When you have the pure, exciting motivation to do something, it should also drive you through the difficult bits of that craft quite naturally. I don't know if I ever get to do my art full-time, but I'm so proud of how far I have come and how far my passions have brought me. I will continue doing what feels most natural to me, and maybe it will lead me to even more amazing places. So I hope this whole talk made sense. I want to get something out of my system. I have been thinking about how far we walked away from our passions and enjoyments, why this world is set to enslave us into the prisons called full-time jobs. Don't get me wrong, maybe a lot of you enjoy the traditional working system, but this talk is not for you, after all. But as for me, a naturally creative person, working in a normal jobs was always a bit challenging and unfulfilling. I'm not saying that all the jobs that were not that enjoyable for me were completely useless. I learned so many skills that are very helpful for me now. And I think in general, we can learn and gain something from every experience, negative and positive. But for artists and creative people, it can be very tricky to find a job that fits us, that won't completely drain our energy for our creative pursuits. I also went so far with the thought that I have to work a normal job to make all my living. Nobody told me when I was a little kid that there are other options. We just have to be bold enough to even try to follow them, I guess. If you can't motivate yourself to do something, maybe you have some fears or beliefs that might be restricting you, which, in my opinion, we are plagued with a lot these days. Maybe start small and do something that feels natural to you and you enjoy for 5 minutes a day and see where it takes you next. Try something you don't need a lot of effort into talking yourself doing. I can't tell you what it is, only you know. Also, you might not pursue something that comes out of your heart because of fear of judgment. And I know it's not easy to put ourselves out there, but more importantly, to put our most authentic versions out there. But this needs to be done again, step by step, day by day, little by little. Even I have fears which I'm overcoming gradually. We reached the end of this video. If you made it this far, I applaud you and thank you for your interest. Please consider pressing like and leave me a comment about what you think. I would love to hear your opinion. Perhaps you have a different take on this topic, which I'm also interested in hearing. This piece is going to be a part of collection of paintings I'm creating for the Overrated gallery, so if you're interested in adopting this piece, please click the link down below. Until next time!